A final overfilled with tension. A nation holding its breath, and a batter who refused to fall. This wasn't just a test win. This was the moment South Africa redefined its cricketing legacy. You're about to witness the greatest redemption arc in South African cricket history. June 14, 2025. Lords, the home of cricket. As the clock ticked 12:45 p.m., the story that had haunted South Africa for decades came to an end. This wasn't just about runs and wickets. This was about pain, persistence, and finally, poetic justice. South Africa had conquered the World Test Championship, and at the heart of it stood one man, Aiden Markram, his bat a sword, his innings a revolution. Let's paint the scene. South Africa needed 69 runs on day 4. They had 8 wickets in hand. Normally, this would be a routine stroll to victory, but this was no ordinary match. This was the weight of history. The baggage of 1999, 2015, and every heartbreak before. Every Proteas fan in the crowd and at home knew the job wasn't done until the final run was scored. The morning began with Temba Bavuma, hamstrung, literally, guiding a ball into the covers. One run, one massive roar. The crowd at Lords wasn't just present, they were possessed. Bavuma had pulled his hamstring earlier in the innings. The physios had considered retiring him hurt, but he said no. This was his final. This was his fight. The partnership between Bavuma and Markram was more than numbers. It was defiance, a resistance against history. Ball after ball, they battled. They stitched together a monumental 147-run stand, the kind that defines careers and rewrites national legacies. But fairy tales rarely run smooth. Pat Cummins, ever the warrior, found a lifting delivery. It caught Bavuma's edge. Gone for 66. No standing ovation, just a silence. A haunting echo of uncertainty. Australia had their window. They knew South Africa had stumbled in these moments before. One crack, and the floodgates could open. The Aussies weren't going down without a fight. Mitchell Starc, breathing fire, came charging in. He unleashed a snorter to remove Tristan Stubbs. 41 still to get. But for those watching in green and gold, it felt like 141. Australia threw everything. Their appeals were desperate, their emotions raw. And in that desperation, they burned through all 3 reviews. 2 LBW calls that weren't close. 1 hopeful glove-down leg against Stubbs. The third was especially cruel, because just 1 ball later, Stubbs was gone. He pulled Cummins with dominance, drove him through cover with elegance. Even after being beaten, he came back stronger with the next ball. His focus, unshakable. His intent, clear. Every stroke chipped away at the curse of the past. Every boundary ignited the crowd. He wasn't just scoring runs. He was healing a nation. Scores level, no reviews left. Emotions frayed. Kyle Varenne walked in. Starc ran in. One last push. A rising ball, Varenne tried to scoop. Gloved it, not given. Irony, the Aussies had no reviews left. Then came the moments that will be replayed forever. David Bedingham pinged Cummins through mid-wicket. Under 20 needed. The crowd roared louder. The second new ball was taken. First ball from Hazelwood, flicked by Markram. Then a drive. The target shrank to single digits. And then, the finale. Markram, aiming leg side, picked out mid-wicket. Gone for 146. Lords rose. So did Australia's fielders. Because they knew they'd been beaten by greatness. South Africa's journey wasn't about just this match. It was about the heartbreaks before. About 1998 being their only ICC title until now. For decades, fans clung to memories of the knockout win, ignoring the caveats. Now they had something indisputable: the World Test Championship. This wasn't just a trophy. It was justice. It was Rabada's relentless fire, 5-51 and 4-59. It was Needy's clutch 3-38. It was the underdog story, where the underdog finally won. And at the center of it all, a captain who limped, a batter who stood tall, a team that refused to crumble. History has been written, and you've just relived every heartbeat of it. But there's more where this came from. More stories, more emotions, more moments that define the soul of cricket. If Aiden Markram's knock gave you goosebumps, if Bavuma's courage inspired you, if South Africa's triumph gave you hope, smash that like button, hit subscribe, become part of this passionate cricket community. Drop a comment below. Where does Markram's 146 rank among the greatest test knocks? And if you're hungry for more cricket glory, tap the next video on your screen right now. This is more than cricket. This is legacy.